Hey, what's up? It's TechBear here, and it's been a little while. It's been a little while since I made one of these. I wanted to make sure that the one that I did actually had something worth talking about. I didn't want to just come out here and give you an update about what I'm working on and things like that, like I did the last time. I feel that's a little boring, and it's not very engaging. So right now, I got some Starcraft 2 gameplay. I'm just facing an AI because I know that I'm bad at this game. There's like 4, 5, 6 people who are really good. They're all Korean. They're amazing. But StarCraft has always had a special place in my heart, and I think it's one of the best games that's ever been made. It's really, really fun, and it definitely has a steep learning curve. Nothing against League of Legends or the Dota 2 professional scene or anything like that, but I just feel like StarCraft is where it's at, man. I love watching that shit. And I really like playing it, and you should play it too. But that's not what I'm here to talk about, because today I wanted to kind of talk about college, and I wanted to kind of talk about the way that I see it, as a professional who didn't go to college, and where I feel that maybe people are going to be, in the future, and just how I feel about the whole kind of thing. Now, let me preface all this with saying that I do think that people should always look for ways to be more intellectual, to learn more things, to be less ignorant, to experience other culture, learn history. I think history is probably the most important thing, but some people would argue that, and that's fine. But do I think that college is necessary for success in America today? And I kind of have like a 50-50 answer. I think on one hand, there are way too many employers that put all their eggs in whether or not you have a degree or if you have any kind of further education. But on the other hand, I think that there are maybe there isn't enough enrollment in vocational programs, and I also feel like college as a system in and of itself is just completely corrupt, and it kind of like it's like it's there to fuck people. It's like, on one hand it's like, oh, you want to have like this really great future, well, you can't have that unless you pay the entrance fee. And like, I understand like a learning institution should cost some money, but it's like, do you never mind people going for degrees that don't necessarily support anything that they're going to be doing or anything like that. But just like think about all the people who do go for something that they do want. Let's say somebody goes in and they want to do something with video editing or something along those lines. Creating. Creators, artists. It's like, do you really need to go to fucking college to be an artist? Like, maybe it's not so much a freelance artist, but like, shouldn't your skill speak for itself? Shouldn't your portfolio speak for itself? Like, what do you need to learn from those people? And like, I do understand that there are avenues out there for a degree like that, but I feel like it's so difficult to get in there because there has to be just like an influx of people who want to do the same kind of thing. And I'm sure there are plenty of other professions that are the same way, but I'm simply using that as an example. And like, I think it's a little ridiculous that like you need like if you're like of average income or low income like my family was when I was growing up, like we had like what was my chance to like get into college? Like I gotta like work super hard in high school, which I mean I guess you should do that anyway. But like let's say you don't. Let's say you're of average intelligence or less, and you try really hard, but it's just not quite good enough. It's like, so you have to be penalized even for trying your best, for trying to get somewhere, and meanwhile, you have the wealthy who are absolutely benefiting from the ability to send their children to college. And I do put some stake in the parents and whether or not they're going to be good, well-rounded adults when they grow up, but I feel like it's such a fucking scam. Like, it's just like, like what? I'm gonna put myself $40,000 in debt to have like what? Like a computer science degree? Like, as a technical professional, you can get as many certifications as you possibly can, and like so much will keep you from getting like that high administrator position simply because you didn't go to college. It's like, it's like this like thing that's sort of like required, but like it's like a secret little requirement that like, you know, it's kind of more basic and like people like know how to get in there. And I'm sort of talking in circles, but basically like the point that I guess I'm trying to get at is like, I feel like college should be an extension of high school. Like, I think it should be like a required thing and not an optional thing that costs a bunch of money. I think that finishing school should like replace college. And like, look, I'm not a fucking economist. Like, I don't know shit about the economy, and I'm not gonna like pretend like I'm some kind of, you know, political genius, or I have some sort of insight that nobody's ever had, or maybe that, you know, I have like this new idea. This is just how I feel, you know, as an adult, you know, of you know, coming into, you know, what we have now. And it's just like, I see like a lot of my friends, you know, struggling, like going to school and, you know, getting out and, you know, having to pay off these debts and things like that with no real like professional experience. You know, they're not given like this chance to thrive and to like prove themselves in the professional world. And like, I don't know, I just feel like that's a shame. And like, I feel like these administrators, these people who look over like these kids who come in, like, school should be more realistic. Like, why do you need to fucking take fucking ridiculous classes? Like, if you're going to be like a computer science major, what the hell you need a German history thing for? Like, you want to be more well-rounded? Like, I guess so, but shouldn't you leave like some of that up to the people who are like passionate about that kind of stuff? Like, what if somebody really wanted to get into that class, but now they can't because now it's this other person's like little special like off class, they can get enough credits to graduate because, you know, that's just how that works. And like what I don't know, it's just like the whole thing just seems so broken. And like, it's a shame because I think that furthering your education is a beautiful thing, and I think that being a responsible adult who is willing to go through the trials and tribulations to be a more responsible, intelligent human being is awesome, and I feel like not enough people do it. So that's something that, you know, should be held in high regard. And so like, you know, if you did go to college and you graduated, like, man, that's fucking awesome. But I'm not going to pretend like you didn't just get raked over the coals and like ripped off. Like, for one, the fucking bank should have nothing to do, and the government should have nothing to do with whether or not you can go to school or not. It's like, I don't know, like schools used to charge a certain amount of money, and then like the government got involved, and they're like, oh, we'll pay this amount of money so that you can fucking go to school. And then the colleges are like, oh, now that the government's paying this much money so that people can go to school, and banks are involved, we'll just charge more money. And it's like, it's outrageous. Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like such a fucking scam. I don't know. I'm not like I said, not an economics expert. I'm not really an expert in much of anything, you know, except for, you know, what I do professionally and, you know, some other things that I would consider myself to be passionate about. And I don't know, I realize that it's a complicated thing, and I understand that it's far more complicated than I'm laying it out here to be. But, you know, you have to admit, you know, it's a shame when you see people that you care about, you know, go into college and into school, and then they leave and they just don't have anything to show for themselves. I used to work in a restaurant. Some of you may know about it. It's McDonald's, so hardly a fucking restaurant. But I was there. I was working with somebody who had a master's degree, and when I asked like what that degree was in, they said something along the lines of philosophy or something like that. And it's like, really, you have like like the fact that they stayed in school long enough to get a master's in fucking anything should immediately get them a job anywhere else. Like, they should not be fucking working at McDonald's with a fucking master's degree. Now, I guess they could have been lying to me, but like, why would you lie about that? Like, why? Like, I don't know. It just seems fucking dumb. Like, why? Like, the fact that you would go so far as to like tell a fib about like what you have a master's in, and it's like, and if you do have a master's in philosophy and you're stuck working at McDonald's, like, how shitty do you feel? You're fucking sitting there paying for all this education, paying for this, paying for that, and at the end of the day, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, oh my god, how fucking frustrating must that be? I can't even imagine. I didn't get to go to college. You know, I wasn't able to pay for it. I would love to be able to, you know, have the money to, further myself technically and further myself artistically, and that would be awesome. But sometimes you hit a certain point in life where you just don't have that opportunity, and you kind of have to like use the skills that you do have to try to like take care of yourself and the people that you love and things like that. So I don't know. I'm wondering what you think on the topic. Let me know in the comments below. Hey, if you like this video, if you like this kind of content, hey, think about subscribing. Hit that like button if you want to. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button. At least it gives me an idea that you hate or like the things that I'm making. And you have a good rest of your day.